welcome y'all to Backwoods Obscura, a podcast dedicated to the lore, legends, and myths surrounding the creatures that may lurk in your backyard. My name's Hewitt.
I'm Chris. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. Hey, we had a good dinner just now.
Okay, so I'll say this much. I didn't know what to expect with that. But...
So, for all of our listeners at home, Chris worked in a kitchen for a very long time. I have never worked in the food service industry other than serving popcorn, hot dogs, and nachos in a movie theater. Chris knows how recipes work. I make about 5-6 dishes that I regularly cook throughout a couple weeks that I do not need recipes for because I do everything by taste. But you saw me use a recipe tonight.
Which is weird because you do have a lot of recipe books, but don't use them. But then again...
Emily does.
I don't really use recipe books either. I have a few. I got some from my family just recently. And I'm looking through them and I'm like, yeah, this recipe seems cool. And then I just forget about it.
Well, I made pork and Guinness pie tonight, which is a potato, pork, carrot, and onion and beer dish. And I will say this. I followed the recipe as you're supposed to do it. However, I will say this. Next time I do it, I'm going to dice up the pork or mix other meat in. And I'm probably going to double the amount of carrots or add parsnips. Like, I feel like I needed something else in there because while it's supposed to come out like a pie, it came out more like a dry stew. Like, it was really good.
Yeah.
Or it was a roast. Okay, let's be honest. It was a pork roast by the end of it.
It was more like a pork roast because I hate saying dry stew. Because that kind of has an implication
that I fucked up making stew.
He's getting pepperoni, and we also it's become sort of a fixture here on Backwoods Obscura where we have charcuterie. We have what is it? Our what is it? Walmart charcuterie, you would call it?
Yeah, it's pepperoni, cheddar cheese, and butter crackers.
Yeah, and we didn't even set it up. We were just like, hey, let's
be the fucking goblins that we are.
Yeah.
And just tear into this.
Like the fucking wild people we are. But yeah.
But it came out good.
It came out good.
We're going to modify it. I think we could add bacon to it and dice up the pork better.
Yeah. Okay, so the original recipe had apples in it, and tasting it,
I think we need to add the apples next time. I'm not an apple fan, but I think we add them next time. It'd be good.
And I mean, it's not just a taste issue; it's like a texture issue with you. But I think cooking it for nearly 2 hours will create like a more potatoey texture.
What if instead of adding apples, what if we replace the potatoes with sweet potatoes?
Sweet potatoes might be good.
But before we get too distracted talking about food, what are we talking about tonight, man?
Well...
As I make a large amount of sonic displeasure for your future self.
Oh, no! Oh, the sonic displeasure. I'm going to eat something real quick. Oh, God! Oh!
You know what? Hold on. Let's move this bag out and this bag out. And so that the thing that we will definitely be digging our asses through the entire time that makes too much noise has now been emptied. Oh God! Oh my God! What have we done? We have just.
God!
We made a mess.
I'm actually keeping this in because it's fucking hilarious. We just created a charcuterie pile.
We are grown adults. We are grown men.
We are nearly 40 here.
We just made adult versions of Totino's pizza rolls by dumping it in a bucket.
Okay. So tonight, I'm bringing something that, one, I keep saying this because I said this last time I did Terrar. I'm bringing something that is outside of our usual stuff. It is backwoods technically, but it's backwoods in the East.
You mean Southeast Asia?
Southeast Asia, yeah.
So let me pause this for a second because I've seen the title of this because it's also sat in my house for a couple weeks.
Right.
For anybody who is currently listening, we have a content warning. There will be descriptions of gore, vampirism, possible cannibalism, but all in all, something that's just a little bit too visceral for a lot of people. So if you want to skip this one, we understand. If you're down to find out about something that's completely gross, weird, and somewhat interesting, stay tuned.
The Krasue, or the Krasue.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So this is a Southeast Asian spirit, sometimes considered a witch, sometimes considered a curse, but it manifests itself as a disembodied head that is that has its viscera or its organs hanging from the neck.
It's just a head and offal.
It's just a head. It has some lungs. Sometimes it has like the liver and the gallbladder. Just things there. Just things just flopping about.
It's just a head with a bunch of sausage filling.
Now,
wow, that is a terrible way to put that.
Now, there are different types of versions of this, but for the most part, it's the same thing. It's just a floating head with the viscera. Of course, like the Will-O-Wisp, and we're going to get more into this, which is... Here's the main thing. I wanted to talk about this because it's kind of a continuation of our Will-O-Wisp. We talked about the Fufule, we talked about the Will-O-Wisp, and I think some of the lights we talked...
We've talked about it. You know what? It's been 30 episodes.
It's been 40 episodes at this point.
I'm saying 30 since we talked about that one, I think.
Yeah. So it kind of ties into some of our Will-O-Wisp episodes. While the general idea of the Krasue is consistent, there are some things that change, such as it having like vampire-like teeth. There are things where it's slightly glowing. Contemporary media has it with a halo. But
Jesus, take my blood, suck it from my neck.
But the main thing is that it is a creature that stalks the night. If it's in the area, it's best to hide and not be around it.
So it's a Darkwing Duck.
Right. Well, Darkwing Duck is a good guy. I don't think the Krasue is a...
I'm just saying, I watched that show.
It's best.
It's best not to be near Darkwing Duck because that's damage to just everybody.
Now, here's the thing. Like, Southeast Asia is the most literal way you can put this tale. Because we can talk about stuff from here that are like, okay, so the Rougarou has its roots in France, but the Rougarou itself is a Louisiana creature.
Yeah.
Right? You would agree with that. Sackabilly, Louisiana boogeyman.
Gulf Coast.
Yeah. So the Krasue, like, again.
Let's just call it Sioux for now.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say the Krasue because I believe that's the proper pronunciation. I'm very sorry. I'm ignorant Louisianian, so sometimes I have a problem. But
I'm just here eating cheese, supporting you.
No. So the creature shows up in various different forms throughout Cambodia, Laos, Indonesia, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, Singapore, and even in Japan.
Does it pop up in the Philippines?
I didn't see anything on that, or at least it's not on my sheet. Because I'm going to say this now, just ahead of time. I wrote this like a month ago, and I'm kind of having to re-remember everything.
The reason I'm asking is because, like, one, if it skipped the Philippines, I'd understand because some of their supernatural stuff is just nuts. But also, it sounds like maybe this creature pops up in the areas that are underneath the ancient Chinese influence. Because, like, the Han made it in the Vietnam, and some of the other empires had a lot, if not direct control, economic control over the region.
Well, here's the thing. It actually does show up in the Chinese. Well, here's the thing. I didn't know this when I was researching this, but yokai, how it shows up in Japanese lore, I didn't know yokai were also in China as well.
I forget what it translates to literally. I think it just means like active spirit or hungry spirit. But I might be wrong.
Now, like, the idea of the yokai version of this creature is different. It's not as viscerally terrifying, but it's also still pretty terrifying. But we'll get into that. Now, as I said before, one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this because it runs parallel with the Will-O-Wisp. Specifically, William of the Wisp, who died and was given a second chance to live a better life, but then squandered it. He was then condemned, as you know, as a Will-O-Wisp, or a William of the Wisp.
Yeah, that dude was a dick. Live a better life. Nah, son, I sold NFTs.
In the Cambodian version, it's called the App, or AHP. They're witches who practice black magic or accidentally curse themselves through black magic to become a Krasue.
So either they did it on purpose or oops.
Yeah. It's kind of like, oh, I want to be a Krasue, or whoopsie, I'm now.
Oh, shit, where are my legs? Oh, damn.
Oh, damn.
I wanted to fly, but not this way.
Yeah. Some beliefs say that the Krasue or Krasue might be the head of a cursed witch possessed by an evil spirit, much like the Krasue. It feeds.
So, well, hold on. You just brought up a key point about this creature that I know. It's always female.
It's always female, yes.
Patriarchy.
I mean, part of it is that, yeah. And a big part of it is, like, it's always a witch, or it's always someone that is, like, cursed. Like, so it might be it might be a witch that accidentally cursed themselves. It might be a witch that intentionally does it to themselves. It might be a spirit that takes the form of a woman, or it just might be someone that is unlucky, because there are, like, different ways you can get it.
You know, when you say it might just be a spirit that takes the form of a woman, I have something I think I might want to inject on that. This is a creature that attacks you, right?
Yeah.
So, what's, like, let's even take, like, the Rougarou. The Rougarou, when it's in its humanoidish form, is a large, muscular, canid human, right?
Yeah.
A lot of masculine traits, right? Do you think maybe if this was a spirit, it knew the way people handled things, so it took the form of a woman to be taken less seriously? Because Emily, my wife just taught me this. You want to know why hurricanes named after women have higher kill counts than those named after men?
I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's because people take it less serious.
I didn't even think about that.
No, I didn't until she told me that. And then I went and started, like, she told me that, then I went and started doing some research. A lot of, like, lower strength hurricanes named after women
just
had a higher kill count than some that were, like, when a male hurricane comes through, everybody's like, oh shit. Like, let's be honest. The fact that Milton didn't do more damage than it did is a blessing.
I hope everyone in Milton and Helena.
Yeah, but think about Helena. Well, okay, one, people took Helena seriously, but the reason Helena messed everybody up is it fucked up mountains, and nobody expected a hurricane to do that.
No, but it went all the way to North Carolina.
I mean, it smacked North Carolina, but the fact it hit the Appalachians and caused landslides. But the thing is think about some of the weaker hurricanes we've had that were named with female names. They had higher death counts than male hurricanes named at that same power level, because people took the male ones more serious and they took the female ones less serious. And I told her that's bullshit when she first told me that. And then I started looking at stuff and I go, God damn it, humans. So here's my thing is, like, if it is a spirit, not like a witch or a cursed woman, if it's a spirit, taking the form of a woman to be viewed as less dangerous is like a key action for a predatory creature. Especially in a society that may or may not give women the same rights as other ones.
Well, it's funny you say that, because as it turns out, I don't know how to read my own document.
Oh, damn, that's tough.
Yeah. So
I'll have that problem the next time we do one I do.
Yeah. So I got ahead of myself with the Cambodian app. So let's go back a bit. While the origins of the creature vary between countries, the main story you might hear is one of a woman who's been cursed to death, which I talked about. Usually living a life of sin, emerging as a Krasue to feed off rotten flesh, trash, or even just anything.
So she eats at McDonald's.
She is at McDonald's. So the Krasue, during the day, will go and do things like... The Krasue will be a normal-looking woman given some little things. Maybe look tired.
Oh my god, she looks tired and that makes her a supernatural creature?
Yeah, so you understand, like, the problems already coming.
No, just as if it's a woman that looks tired, she's a witch. Bitch, have you tried to raise children?
Or just do anything. Like, just raise children and also, take care of a house and also,
Well, look, my wife and I both do all the housekeeping around this house. We both work to raise both of our children. I am a very large, weight-wise man. I am, like, most definitions state that, like, I look like I got my shit together. I'm tired. My wife works a professional job and takes care of both of our children as well and does housework. She's tired. I guess we're both fucking Crusoes.
Yeah.
Or am I, is there another?
Or
she would be a croissant. I guess I'm a croissant. I'm a croissant.
Now
I am a croissant. I'm a flying pastry with guts.
So you're French. You're like, ha!
Oh, I will drink your blood. Oh no, it's the wrong vintage. What year are you? 84? Ah, Reagan was elected. I need a 77.
No. Okay.
Someone hit my exposed hanging anus with a baseball bat.
We'll get into how you kill a Krasue.
Is it with a baseball bat and exposed hanging anus?
Or Krasue. I think it's Krasue. But anyone on the internet that wants to correct me, I am fine with being corrected. I'm just going to try and go with how my brain decides to go. I'm so very sorry in advance. But yeah, so
you're doing fine.
So there's also a version that this is a contemporary version. This is one that came with movies where it's a Khmer, 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 I believe.
Oh, Khmer, like Khmer Rouge from Cambodia?
Yeah.
Oh shit, they're scared. You don't need a supernatural creature when dealing with the Khmer Rouge.
Okay, so the Khmer princess who was burned at the stake and tried to use their magic to protect themselves, but managed to only protect her head and organs. This version, however, is, once again, it's kind of I don't want to say Hollywood, it's an Eastern media creation.
Look. The Eastern media did it because the Khmer Rouge took their name from the Khmer Empire that's like, God, I don't even remember the decades because, like, I'm sorry. For anyone that's listening, I have a lot of Western history knowledge. And Western history is extremely limited in what they talk about.
And getting into a little bit further out from that, there is also the yokai in Japan, Nuki-Kubi or the Ruby-Kubi. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. Or similar to the Krasue, with the difference that them not being having hanging viscera. Instead, their necks will extend at a supernatural length until they may or may not just detach. So it's kind of like a head.
Is this the snake neck woman?
Yes.
Okay, I've seen. Yeah. There's an anime called Narion, Rise of the Yokai Clan. One of the ladies in that is that, and she like straight up headbutts somebody 15 feet away.
Yeah, so you can think of it as a head with a tail. It's almost ghost-like, and it has its own sort of freakiness about it. Like if you consider like a ghost.
Well, like yokai all have their own special freakiness.
Yeah, like if you see a Krasue and you're like, this is a head with viscera, that's scary.
That's wet, dripping, gross.
But if you see someone with a long neck that eventually detaches and you just see a head with like a little ghostly tail, also pretty fucking scary. Like, let's just be clear. Both are scary in their own different ways.
Well, let's be honest. One seems like something you'd see in Super Mario.
You're right.
The other one is Dark Souls.
Yeah. So, a type of illness that causes the soul and body to detach. A lot of stories, someone getting sick and eventually becoming a Nuki-Kubi is one of the reasons why someone a cursed metaphysical creature that hunts those that break the tenets of Buddhist philosophy is also...
Oh shit, we're gonna be Krasues.
Yeah. So
I just ate
no. Here's the thing: we wouldn't be, but people who break the tenet of Buddha's philosophy would be.
Oh, if we had taken if we had sworn
So-
in and converted to Buddhism and then revoked it, we could become it. But
so
just
those
because
are the main two I found about the Nukikubi or the Rubikubi. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. You can go to Facebook and be like, "Yo, you are bad at this." It's
for
fine.
the listeners at home, this is the 3rd to 5th time that Chris has apologized for pronunciations.
Yeah, I know.
That's why I have intentionally misedited, pronounced the words.
Again. Okay, so there are Chinese legends about this creature as well, showing that the Krasue, much like the Will-O-Wisp, are very widespread. So we're just gonna wing it. So what is the modus operandi of the Krasue? So as said before, the creature stalks the night, searching for means to satiate the hunger. It will eat a wide range of things, from raw meat to babies to waste. It is also known.
What?
Yeah, it can. I mean, I'll eat it.
Okay, you started out with like something, then said babies, and went on to other normal monster shit. You're just like babies, like here. I'm just gonna throw this in here.
Oh no, it's baby hunger is well known.
Unquenchable.
It's well known.
It has the rumblies that
Look,
only a baby can solve.
only after doing the Terrar episode and like editing that, I'm like, wow, I had a lot of episodes about creatures that eat babies and waste.
I'm over here going, I have a 14-month-old.
I know. I wasn't trying to do this, to be clear.
I'm not gonna let you hold my baby now, Chris. I'm afraid you're gonna try to eat the baby.
I'm not going to eat the baby. I'm not going to eat the baby. As said before, the creature stalks the night searching. We already went through that. It is also known to prey on pregnant women or women who have just given birth.
I've heard that one. There's a bunch of creatures in Southeast Asian folklore about that.
Now, here's where it gets a little bit gross.
It couldn't just be. It couldn't just be that maybe giving birth is extremely stressful, painful, and dangerous activity. If it's not with like,
No, Hewitt, you don't understand. If a woman dies during childbirth, it's obviously the Krasue. So
fucking hell.
It is said that the Krasue has a long probe-like tongue.
Yeah, it's like I got like a mosquito proboscis
that it can use to suck the baby out of the woman. Oh, fuck.
You have just given the alt-right a monster that they can yell about. And they will swear to God it's fucking real, Chris.
I can't get a day, but she can just suck a woman. Oh, I need to stop.
You need to stop or else you're going to Shapiro yourself.
Whew. Okay. So at the end of the escapades of the Krasue, it likes to clean its face and make sure, it's nice and clean.
So it cleans its face, not your face, after it sucks the baby out of you.
Yeah. So, of course, it doesn't have hands or anything at the time, so it just tries to find the closest cloth or, sheet or anything close to...
Are you telling me that if I woke up after this thing tried to do shit to my family and it was wiping itself on a bath towel, I could literally wrap its organs in the head up and just start beating it into a wall to save everybody?
I mean, sure, but,
that is a major weakness, Chris, of this creature. If I can wrap it up in a bath towel,
we'll get into the weaknesses of the creature here in a minute.
Like if I can Madam Longfingers this into a wall and make sausage, it's not that big of a threat.
After it sucks the baby out, it wants to clean its face and make sure it's prim and proper the next day. So it will,
you do.
It will clean its face on any sort of cloth it can find. Now, this is why you should never leave cloth out overnight. because, if your unmentionables are out there, or if, your fine linens are out there, it's going to rub, He's giving me a look. He's giving me a bad
Are you telling me if I leave the drawers I've been wearing while I mowed on the edge, hanging ever so slightly over the edge of the laundry basket, the Krasue that has somehow come into my house will try to wipe its face on my sweaty swamp-ass drawers?
Yeah.
You know what? That's on it. That's on it. It can have that taint. I can find it.
Especially after it sucked a baby.
Oh my. We've gone off the rails, y'all. Chris has gone on another one where we're dealing with eating babies, and I'm going to punch the shit out of something that might have wiped its face on my drawers.
I'm not trying to do this.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful to a creature that is in another group's religion, but if it's going to wipe its face on the closest cloth after it's supposedly performed a unwanted illegal abortion in the middle of the night.
So how do you think you protect yourself from the Krasue?
Close your fucking windows.
I mean, that's one.
Baseball bat.
Close. Okay, so one way to protect yourself from the Krasue is to line your house with thorns, spikes, or sharp objects.
So be an American and put barbed wire up.
Yeah. So just be paranoid as fuck and just have everything just
Jesus,
pointy,
take the wheel while I put this barbed wire out.
Yeah, just have pointy shit everywhere. You know what happens when you have pointy shit everywhere? The viscera gets...
Its guts get stuck.
Yeah, guts get stuck.
Oh no, we red fern it?
Yeah.
Where the red fern grows it, like old Dan getting his guts stuck on a thorn bush and dragging them out.
You know what else the Krasue doesn't like?
Garlic?
No, guard dogs. So if you have a good boy that is big, like Artax.
Let's be honest, Artax is eating that.
Artax is like, woo, 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 and then...
You'd wake up like, who tried to suck a baby out of Ruby? And it's just your dog eating, like, help me.
Oh, God.
That's my liver and kidneys.
I thought you were talking about the baby for a minute. I was like, God damn, this got dark.
And I was like, you're saying like it tried to go after Ruby. And then all of a sudden, Artax. I'm going to eat that.
I'm going to eat that Krasue.
It ate my pancreas. I'm going to have diabetes.
Oh, no.
No one sells insulin to a Krasue.
Oh, no. It's going to be like $1,200. Oh, I'm dead.
I'm out of network.
We'll talk about what happens when the Krasue dies. But...
Does it burst into flames?
No, worse.
Oh, my God. Does it plague? He gave me a look, people.
We'll get into that. If you happen to come face to face with the Krasue, though,
baseball bat,
you can kill it with a nice swift chop at the neck.
You cut the guts off.
Yeah, you cut the guts off, and you can kill the Krasue.
Oh man, that's a major weakness for that creature.
It's weird because you hear about these creatures; they seem pretty menacing, but then you're like, wow.
Like, why doesn't it just get like a chainmail bag to stick everything in?
I mean, unless it has like a bare level of speed. If it's coming at you 35.
To be fair, this sounds like it's got a high AC by D&D standards. Like this is something that's a dex-based stat creature.
There is one thing I do like about the Krasue. In Wikipedia, it mentions that one of its main foes is angry villagers. Like, yeah. You just suck the baby out of someone, and they watch you fly off with the baby still in you. And maybe you and Frankenstein both are kind of like... Okay, no, it's not just Frankenstein. Think about this. The biggest foe to any supernatural creature is going to be a bunch of motherfuckers with pitchforks and torches. Like, you might kill a few of them, but eventually, action economy is going to be not in your favor. Of course, like, injuring the Krasue is going to be, like, the best course of action in the moment, but I'm assuming you want to be proactive. Yes, because I don't want a baby sucked out. Yeah, of course. If you want to be proactive about it, you can somehow find the body the Krasue.
Oh, so you find her body that, like, all the guts got ripped out of.
Yeah, and, like, you can destroy it, or you can actually move. You don't even have to destroy it. You can be like, hey, yo, you're at the Circle K, the body's at the Circle K, we're going to move you to the 7-Eleven.
But it's like the Krasue comes flying into my yard and I just hold up a hollow, headless female body, like, sup?
Yeah.
The Krasue. Okay.
But then, like, the Krasue is going to know where the body is, so it's going to just fly to the body.
Then you set it on fire.
Then you can set it on. I mean,
and that's when you get arrested for murder.
And of course, I've talked about, like, the human. The human version is, once again, it's tired looking.
Such a shitty identifying mark.
I mean, it gets even worse when you consider. Okay, so it is considered that the human version of the Krasue does not look people in the eyes because it doesn't have a reflection in the eyes.
So it has autism.
Yeah. So, or it just has, like if you consider, like, especially, like, any sort of society past, like, 1970, if not 1990, like, where women were very...
So I'm tired. I'm not looking you in the eye because maybe I've had a long work week. Maybe I'm on the spectrum, or maybe I've had to just work in an environment that's not entirely supportive of bullshit that might have hurt me. And I don't want to look you in the eye because it's been a rough goddamn week.
Yeah.
So you're a vampire. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Fucking shit.
So yeah, there's that. I mean, good luck sussing out that. I mean, of course, men will be like, yeah.
How many millennials are we going to kill in the process of figuring this one out?
Oh.
Like, oh my god, no one's going to have a barista at Starbucks.
No. Dragon Age 5 is never going to get made at this rate. Anyway.
Fucking shitheels.
There's a less misogynistic way.
Okay. How do we not patriarchy this?
So, you know how the creature likes to wipe his face, get nice and really clean on just anything.
Do you put ink on the towel?
Okay, so let's say your drawers are out there.
Uh-huh.
And it decides to wipe its face on your drawers.
Uh-huh.
Did you know you can just boil those drawers?
Oh, so I wiped his face off and then I wash my laundry in hot water?
No, you had to boil it in boiling, like, up to boiling hot water, because you know what happens when that happens? You
kill the Krasue? No.
The mouth burns. You burn the mouth of the Krasue by doing that. So you burn you boil your drawers that are soiled by the Krasue.
I hate to say this. Because it'll make me sound incredibly insensitive. That's fucking weird.
It's so cool, though. I like it.
No, it's like such a hyper-specific way to deal with it. It's so weird. Like, I bowled my drawers. What happened? Like, my neighbor 3 blocks down had burnt lips. It doesn't have
to be your drawers. It could just be any cloth.
What you were saying that that the Krasue wiped its face on my drawers.
I was just,
You fed into what I started, but now it's like I bowled my drawers, and now the Krasue has a burnt ass mouth, and now I don't want to trust the lady that works at the McDonald's down the road because she got a burnt mouth, and so now I've just got someone killed that doesn't have anything to do with anything, but they'll say she's a Krasue.
Now, you can once you do that, I mean, it's very cool and everything, but you got to know where the Krasue is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't know where the Krasue is, you run the risk of creating another Krasue. Because near death, the Krasue will seek out another victim, usually a female, and attempt to spit in their mouth. This will avoid the terrible death for the Krasue, as well as passing on the curse to another person. So
they hawk in the other mouth, and it saves them both.
They do a Krasue loogie.
They go, and it saves them somehow.
Well, it doesn't save them. They still die. They just don't die a horrible death.
Oh, okay, I missed. I thought you like it saves them and then it makes another Krasue. And I'm like, man, we gotta start burning shit. We got just gasoline.
Just get out of here. Just get it going. Now, while there are some overlap with the Will-O-Wisp when it comes to because I looked up some of the stuff, and it really are some of the sightings, and it seemed like very similar to the Will-O-Wisp. But if you'll notice that the Will-O-Wisp is a ghost, and this is a physical creature, so I think it's very interesting for the Will-O-Wisp as a legend, as a thing that people have passed on, to kind of pass on in the form of Krasue, but it's also as a Krasue, it is a physical being. In fact, there are actually recent tales, or not tales, but recent accounts of the Krasue, recent sightings. I just realized something. I didn't put the recent sightings on here. I realized the reason why I didn't put the recent sightings on here, because it's all the same shit.
It's all the same sightings, same events happening as what was reported?
A lot of, oh, hey, I see something out there. It must be the Krasue. Okay,
so let's be honest. There are so many things that fall into that category, like Bigfoot, like that sounds like every creature there's a sighting of something weird on the periphery. So obviously it's this. And you know what? I can understand, I saw something weird outside. We're not opening a door. Throw out the window, barbed wire.
There was a story of, someone, I believe in Cambodia, seeing something that was Krasue-like and flying under someone's basement or something like that. And I was going to include it, but it just wasn't... again, it was interesting, but there just wasn't a lot there. And there was also some stuff about, I tried... the Wikipedia page actually had a lot of stuff about, Krasue sightings, but they were in, East Asian websites, and it was very hard.
And you could not read the language that was actually on the webpage.
Well, I could do Google Translate, but it just didn't load up well, and some of the sites were 404. So,
let's be honest. A lot of stuff when you translate it from Chinese or Cambodian or Vietnamese, it doesn't translate directly to English well.
Yeah,
because 3 characters might be a whole sentence in English.
Yeah, well, I mean, the other thing is, again, some of these web pages were dead, so it was hard to find it. But again, okay, so going back to the Will-O-Wisp, the scientific explanation is the swamp gas theory. So we're back to here.
Here's my thing. I don't think swamp gas looks like a woman's head and guts.
It's one of those things where it's
guts are very specific.
Yeah, guts are very specific. I don't know. I think it might be more of a I don't know if the personally. I don't think it does personally. But then again, I haven't been to that part of the world, so.
No, you know what I if you want me to give you 100% a skeptic's opinion on this, this sounds like maybe they saw a very large bat or a large bird carrying carrion.
Yeah.
That's my vibe. Let's be honest, have you seen a turkey vulture fly off with something?
Right. Yeah. No,
it gets you're like, brother,
And I don't know if it's anything like that. I just know that you see anything weird at night, it's gonna fuck with your head a bit. But that said, I'm not gonna rule it out. I think it's one of those things where it's cool to have ideas or concepts out there.
This is a very unique cryptid-esque creature.
Yeah. One of the reasons why I like southeastern lore and legends is that they really just...
They go for it.
They go for it, and it's also just so unique compared to what we see in the West. And one of the reasons why I wanted to cover this is because, it was just an interesting and unique creature. It is technically like a Will-O-Wisp in a way, but it's not. It actually has like a little bit of things like the Rougarou. We keep mentioning the Rougarou. We mentioned other creatures. It kind of has like the curse aspect. It has like the like in the yokai, you could be like just stricken with it like a disease. But did you know in Indonesian culture, it kind of has a pop culture sort of phenomenon with it. Not only is it like in folklore, but it's huge in Southeastern culture, and especially in films. And it has even shown up in Western media, specifically with the TV show Creepshow. Have you ever heard of Creepshow?
I've heard of Creepshow.
It has appeared in the... Which season did I write here? Yeah, I just wrote...
Are you talking about the new version of Creepshow?
New version of Creepshow.
That's on, it's on an app. It's on a streaming app.
I know which app you're talking about. I have a subscription to it.
Oh, no, they used to advertise it on Graveyard Tales a lot. But it's a spooky story.
Aside from Creepshow, 1982 film The Witch with the Flying Head. The Witch with Flying Head is as I put it. Tin Man Krasue, which features the origin of the Khmer princess. That's where the that came in. 2002. Which is wild, because like I thought that would have came in like in the 80s, but apparently... Yeah. I mean, I think of the 80s as before me, because I was born in 1987.
Yeah.
But, like, 2002 is still pretty far away. Oh, no. 1989, Operation Pink Squad 2. What do you think this is about?
There's a lady defense force that fights a Krasue.
It's about a police sting operation going wrong after they encounter a bunch of Krasues.
Yeah, that tracks.
So there's a good many films you can find. I found at least 20, like from 1970s and up to now.
Okay. In the era of Hammer films, and then the 80s with the era of the slasher gore films that extends to now, how do you not use a head with guts flying around?
It's wild. Like, you would think you would see it in Western media more, but you really don't. It's crazy. But anyway, sources are IMDb for the list of movies, the Wikipedia, Krasue, Will-O-Wisp, and the Rukikubi. Lion Brand, The Tale of Phi and Floating Head. Spooky Stories from Thailand. The Smart Local. And Jason A. Ward, Detachable Flying Head with Disgusting Diet, the Krasue. Japan Avenue, Rukikubi, Long Neck Demon and its Legend. That is everything. Thank you for listening. We are Backwoods Obscura. We release every Tuesday, and we're on most podcatchers and hopefully on social media. But we are also affiliated with Team Bonus Action, a charity live play, online play, video games and tabletops group. We are currently partnered through the end of the year with Extra Life and the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. All proceeds donated to Extra Life between now and December 31st will go to Batson's Children's Hospital in Jackson. Our goal is $1,500 this year, and if you can donate, we would greatly appreciate it. Please help parents not have to worry about paying bills or for their house or their child. Let them not worry about medical bills or Christmas for their child. So if you can help out, please do, because you know what? We all need to work together to make the world better. But yeah, I hope you have a good day or night or whatever time it is out there, and we love you.
Have a good one, and hey, smack the Krasue with a baseball bat.
Get the baseball bat!
In the anus.